What if I told you that 90% of people quit exactly 3 feet from gold? That the moment when everything feels like it's falling apart is actually the universe's way of clearing space for your breakthrough. Most people think manifestation is about vision boards and positive thinking, but here's the controversial truth nobody talks about. The closer you get to your goal, the more chaotic things become. And if you're watching this video right now, especially if something inside you said, "Don't scroll past this," it's probably because you're in that exact phase. You know that feeling when you've been working towards something for months, maybe years, and suddenly everything goes quiet? When the momentum stops, doors seem to close, and that voice in your head starts whispering, maybe it's time to give up? Here's what they don't teach you in those surface-level success videos. This isn't failure, this is the final test. The universe isn't abandoning you, it's asking if you're truly ready to receive what you've been asking for. And most people fail this test not because they're not worthy, but because nobody taught them how to recognize the signs. In the next 18 minutes, I'm going to share the 8 stages that happen right before your breakthrough. The ones that separate those who make it from those who quit 3 feet from gold. You'll learn how to distinguish between productive struggle and pointless suffering, how to decode the micro-signals that your manifestation is actually working, and most importantly, the specific daily practices that lock in your new frequency so you never have to start over again. If you're ready to finally understand what's really happening behind the scenes of your transformation, let's dive in. You know what's fascinating about seeds? They don't dig themselves out every morning to check if they're growing. They simply trust the process, stay rooted in their purpose, but remain flexible about how that growth unfolds. Most people get so attached to one specific way things should happen that they miss incredible opportunities knocking on their door. It's like insisting on taking only the highway to your destination, while ignoring the scenic route that might actually be faster and more beautiful. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Write down exactly what you want in one clear line, then list 3 completely different ways you could achieve it. Let's say you want financial freedom. Maybe it's through real estate, maybe it's building a digital business, or maybe it's mastering high-value skills and consulting. When you open your mind to multiple pathways, you stop being desperate about any single approach. Your energy shifts from clinging to, "it has to be this way," to, "I'm open to the best way." The magic happens when you hold your vision tight, but your methods loose. Think about water flowing down a mountain. It never argues with the rocks, never forces its way through impossible barriers. Instead, it finds the path of least resistance while never losing sight of where it's headed. The ocean. That's the sweet spot where manifestation accelerates, where you're working with universal flow instead of against it. And here's what's really interesting about this flexibility. There's a subtle but game-changing difference between wanting something and being ready to receive it. When you're in wanting mode, there's this underlying energy of lack, like you're reaching for something that's not there yet. But when you shift to ready to receive, your whole vibe changes. You become present, grounded, like someone who's already cleared space in their life for what's coming. It's the difference between desperately hunting for love and being the kind of person love naturally gravitates toward. Try this quick experiment right now. Sit up straight, slow down your breathing, and hold your gaze steady for 60 seconds. Notice how different you feel compared to the rushed, scattered energy most people carry around. This isn't just feel-good stuff. This is rewiring your nervous system to match the frequency of what you're calling in. When you embody readiness, opportunities start recognizing you from across the room. I'll never forget when I was pushing hard for a business partnership that kept falling through. Every no felt personal, every delay frustrated me more. Then I shifted my internal dialogue from, "I need this to work," to, "I'm open to the right collaboration." 10 days later, that same person called back with a completely different offer, one that was actually better than what I'd originally wanted. Sometimes what we think we want is just training wheels for what we're actually meant to receive. And speaking of timing, there's something crucial about those quiet periods that most people completely misunderstand. Here's what nobody tells you about those frustrating quiet periods in your life. They're not empty spaces where nothing's happening. Think about pregnancy. For 9 months it looks like nothing's happening on the outside, but inside, cells are multiplying, organs are forming, a whole human being is developing. That silence isn't absence. It's the most intense creation happening behind the scenes. Most people panic during these phases and start forcing action, which is like shaking a pregnant woman and asking why the baby isn't here yet. When things feel stuck, your job isn't to create more noise or take bigger actions. Instead, focus on your foundation. Are you sleeping enough? Drinking enough water? Taking short walks daily? These aren't small things. They're the soil conditions that determine whether your manifestation grows strong roots or withers. It's like tending a garden. You don't yell at seeds to grow faster, you make sure they have the right environment. If your life suddenly feels paused, treat it as a signal to lock in your routine basics. Pick 3 anchor habits. Maybe it's journaling every morning, a 10-minute walk after lunch, and reading before bed. These simple patterns become your lighthouse during uncertain times. They keep you aligned and ready for when the breakthrough moment arrives. And trust me, that moment of breakthrough often comes disguised as something you might want to resist. Here's something that'll shift your entire perspective on obstacles. Resistance isn't your enemy trying to stop you. It's actually the guardian testing if you're really ready for what's on the other side. Think about swimming upstream versus letting the river carry you while you navigate skillfully. Fighting the current exhausts you, but flowing with it while steering toward your destination. That's where the magic happens. Most people burn out because they confuse struggle with progress, tension with effort. Ask yourself this game-changing question before any action. Is this tense effort or clean action? Tense effort feels like pushing a boulder uphill. Lots of strain, minimal movement. Clean action feels like a skilled martial artist redirecting energy, effortless power that accomplishes more with less. When you catch yourself forcing things, pause and look for the path that requires skill instead of sheer force. Try this quick exercise. Draw a simple grid with useful versus urgent on one axis and force versus flow on the other. Now place your current challenges in these quadrants and pick the next action that's both useful and flows naturally. Maybe instead of cold calling 100 prospects, force, you write one thoughtful article that attracts your ideal clients. Flow. The universe rewards intelligent action over desperate action. And here's what's fascinating about this shift in approach. It actually changes who you become in the process. Reality has this wild way of mirroring back exactly who you're being, not just what you're doing. It's like the universe is constantly asking, show me who you are, and I'll show you what you get. Most people try to change their circumstances while staying the same person, which is like expecting different results from the same recipe. But when you start embodying the identity of someone who already has what you want, the external world has no choice but to catch up. Here's a 90-second practice that'll rewire your entire day. Complete this sentence. Today, I act like someone who already has underscore. Then write 3 specific phrases this person would say. Notice how they'd carry themselves. Even change how you walk. If you want financial abundance, how does someone wealthy move through grocery stores? If you want deep love, how does someone beloved speak to strangers? It's not fake it till you make it, it's aligning your energy with your desired reality. Remember this truth. Technique follows identity, never the other way around. You can learn every manifestation method in the book, but if you're still operating from the identity of someone who struggles, those techniques will feel empty. When you flip this script and become the person first, the right techniques, opportunities, and people naturally gravitate toward you. And once you start embodying this new identity, you'll begin noticing subtle signs that most people completely overlook. Those little coincidences that keep happening aren't random. They're actually preview clips of your manifestation getting ready to premiere. Think of them as the universe's way of winking at you, saying, hey, we're working on your order behind the scenes. Maybe you keep seeing the same numbers, bumping into people who mention exactly what you've been thinking about, or finding resources that perfectly match your current needs. These micro-synchronicities are like breadcrumbs leading you toward your destination. Start keeping a simple 5-line daily log. Date, what happened, how it felt, what action you took, and what you learned from it. Last week, maybe you randomly met someone at a coffee shop who mentioned a business opportunity you'd been visualizing. Yesterday, perhaps a song came on that perfectly captured your current emotional state. These aren't flukes, they're evidence that your internal frequency is starting to broadcast clearly to the external world. Here's what most people miss. These small signs require acknowledgement to grow into bigger manifestations. When you notice and appreciate these micro moments, you're essentially telling the universe, yes, I'm paying attention, send me more. It's like training your manifestation muscle. The more you recognize these subtle communications, the stronger and clearer they become. But here's where things get really interesting, because sometimes right before your breakthrough, everything seems to fall apart. You know that moment when you're cleaning your room and it looks like a tornado hit before it becomes spotless? That's exactly what happens right before major breakthroughs in your life. The universe doesn't reorganize your reality in neat, orderly steps. It creates beautiful chaos that clears out everything that no longer serves you. Old patterns break down, unexpected challenges pop up, and everything feels unstable. Most people panic during this phase and abandon their dreams right before the magic happens. Here's your survival rule for turbulent times. During any major upheaval, protect your core decision for at least 24 hours before making any changes. Don't let temporary chaos convince you to abandon long-term vision. It's like being in labor. The most intense contractions happen right before birth, not because something's wrong, but because something incredible is about to emerge. Your job is to breathe through it, not run from it. I remember one particularly rough week when everything seemed to fall apart at once. A major client backed out, my car broke down, and a relationship ended. I was ready to throw in the towel on a business venture I'd been working on for months. But I stuck to the 24-hour rule, and within 3 days, a much better opportunity landed in my lap. That chaos wasn't destruction, it was demolition, making space for something bigger. And once you understand this pattern, you'll want to lock in some specific habits that keep you anchored during these transformative storms. Here's the thing about transformation. Your brain will try to pull you back to familiar patterns, even when those patterns don't serve you anymore. It's like your nervous system has a default setting, and without conscious reprogramming, you'll keep reverting to old frequencies. That's why people can have amazing breakthroughs and then mysteriously find themselves back where they started 6 months later. The solution isn't more willpower, it's creating micro-rituals that wire in your new identity at the neurological level. Try this simple 3x3 system that takes less than 5 minutes total throughout your day. Morning, state one identity phrase, take one deep breath, and do one small action aligned with your goal. Afternoon, check your posture, drink one glass of water, and send one genuine gratitude message. Evening, write one line about something you genuinely appreciated today. Note any signs you received and identify tomorrow's easiest next step. These aren't grand gestures, they're frequency anchors. The beautiful truth is that consistency always beats intensity when it comes to rewiring your reality. You don't need to meditate for hours or do elaborate rituals. You just need to show up with these small, intentional moments that remind your nervous system who you're becoming. It's like tuning a radio. Small, consistent adjustments keep you locked onto the station you want to receive. And when you master this level of consistency, you become magnetic to opportunities that match your new frequency. So here's the real question. Are you going to be one of those people who quits 3 feet from gold, or are you finally ready to trust the process and push through to the other side? Everything I've shared with you today, from releasing attachment to outcomes while staying committed to your vision, to recognizing those micro-synchronicities as evidence that your manifestation is working, these aren't just concepts to think about. They're tools to use starting right now, today, in your real life. Look, I get it. It's easier to watch videos about transformation than to actually transform. It's more comfortable to stay in the familiar struggle than to step into the unknown abundance that's waiting for you. But what if this is your moment? What if the fact that you watched this entire video, that something inside you recognized the truth in these words, is actually the universe confirming that you're ready for the next level? What would happen if instead of waiting for permission or perfect conditions, you started acting like the person who already has what you want? Here's your homework. And yes, I'm calling it homework because this is serious business. Pick one practice from today's video and commit to it for the next 7 days. Maybe it's the morning identity statement, maybe it's tracking those micro-synchronicities, or maybe it's simply holding your vision tight while keeping your methods loose. Don't try to do everything at once, just pick one and watch how it ripples through your entire reality. And here's the thing. If this resonated with you, if you're finally ready to stop playing small and start claiming what's yours, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Because manifestation isn't a one-time event, it's a skill you develop. And I'm here to guide you through every stage of this incredible journey. Pick one practice from today's video and commit to it for the next 7 days. If this resonated with you, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell.